Today, Al couldn't be here. He had another meeting, so I will be the one talking at first. And we're gonna have Josie going over the wiki, and she pretty much like reorganized everything and how it works in terms of all the projects and resources and everything to be more accessible and easier to navigate. And after that, we're going to talk about some of the projects with Adobe and how to proceed with that. So that's it. And Chelsea.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly provide an overview of the site because I did move some pages around and added a few new sections. So just so everyone's on the same page, I'll just share my screen if you give me a second. There we go. Can everyone see that okay?
I can see.
Perfect. Okay. So this is the wiki page where we're kind of tracking all of the information related to the Indigenous Design Collective. So at the very top, we have a little notice about information associated with the workshops. So if you've ever trying to find the Zoom link or trying to figure out, find resources, recordings from past workshops, that can be found at the workshop schedule. And then the Zoom link is just provided underneath that. And then here is basically the table of contents for the wiki. At the very top, this getting started page is where we've provided a little bit of information about like how to create your account on the wiki, which will allow you to actually edit pages and add content and that kind of thing. So for anyone new to the site, that's a good page to start. Underneath that is the page that lists all the members. So anyone who's created an account on the wiki and wants to share their name and their contact information can do so here. I'll just show you what that looks like. So a bunch of people have added their names and their institutions and email addresses. So that can be added to that page if you haven't done that already. Just to go back. And then underneath, the workshop schedule. So this is the same page that is linked to here. So if you're looking for, you're trying to find recordings from past sessions or resources or any of that information can be accessed on that page. And so under projects and collaboration, so this is where people who have started projects and want to share information about their project can do so. So each of these different pages are associated with a specific project. So this is where you can see what projects are ongoing. You can reach out to people who are already working on them and see if there's potential for collaboration. And you can also create new project pages to share information about any projects that you're working on that you'd like to share. So if you're wanting to just click the project and collaboration page, and if you want to create a new page, you can click create up top, which will just give you a blank page that you could add information on. But we also have a project template set up that can be populated with information. So this is the project template. And if you want to use this project template, you just have to make a copy of that. And you can do that by going up to these 3 dots and going down to copy. And then that will take you through making a duplicate of the page, and then you can populate all of the fields with the information for your project.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, with the template, you can also edit the template if you want to use it just as a base and then delete a few things, you can, and put like substitute whatever's in there. You can too. You don't have to. You can use it just as a start.
Yeah, you can customize whatever you want. It's just to kind of act as a prompt if that's helpful. So for the last few weeks, we've been talking a lot about Adobe and the Creative Cloud licenses. So we're going to group all projects associated with the use of those licenses under this Adobe projects page. So it's very similar to these pages. We have the same template, but it's just going to be grouped in a different spot. And then underneath that is this page for collecting resources, tools, and tutorials. So this Adobe Creative Cloud page is where we're posting information about the getting access to the Adobe Creative Cloud licenses. So we're going to be setting up a form that people can fill out to request access, but we don't have that ready yet. So in the meantime, if you're trying to get access to these licenses, you can just email Al and he can take you through those next steps. But we'll be adding to this page as we get more details about how we're going to manage that. And then the next page under the resources and tools and tutorials is just a list of a bunch of free technologies and software that are out there. So we've got them categorized based on the type of software it is. So stuff for images, audio, video, websites, all sorts of stuff. So if you're looking for looking for tools that you can use, this would be a page to check out. And if you have other tools that you think would be useful to people, you're welcome to, again, edit and add to this page as well. Go back to the home page. And then there's another resources page on storyboarding. So that's a thing to check out as well. And then under teaching and learning materials, this is something new that we've added just to make it easier to share like educational materials or videos or websites that are useful for the subject areas that you teach. So I added a bunch based on, I work in open education, so I'm aware of quite a few open educational resources that would fall under, that might be applicable to people with this project. So I added some subject categories. These are very high level and not at all comprehensive, so people are welcome to add new subject categories to kind of fill them out. But just to show an example, like for example, on the languages page, I've added resources that I'm aware of and then grouped them by language. So people are welcome to share resources that they're aware of. You can just edit the page. And all that I'm doing basically is the title of the resource, whether it's openly licensed or not, and then a short description. And so far, I've just got them grouped under 5 different categories, but more categories can be added as more resources are shared.
Oh, no, let me go.
And then the very last section is just a bit of a help section. There's not very much content here, but it's kind of a place where we can add help information as we develop it. So there's a short FAQs, so some frequently asked questions that Moima's been getting. And then I don't know if Moima, you want to talk about this technical support schedule?
Yes, we are trying to schedule times with everybody, and yes, we're trying to use this form. A lot of people have just been sending emails, which is fine as well. So either way, we can, I think as more projects starts developing, we can start using the form. But for now, if you just want to send me an email here, we can negotiate times that will work as well. So yeah, when things get more busy with the projects, and yeah, when we start to have more technical support as well, we're going to start using this form so we can get have it more structured. But yeah,
sounds good. So that's like a high-level overview of everything that's on the site so far. Does anyone have questions?
From everybody who's here and participating, did all of you like sign up for the wiki already? Like, have you tried at all or used it for anything? Let's see. Is there? I don't think I did yet. Okay. Would anybody want help in setting anything up or going through it? today or understanding it better, or?
I can maybe just quickly show, it's super easy to create an account if you want to. You just go to the wiki page and then there'll be a sign up button in the top right. And then you can just enter your name, your email, create a username and password, and that will take you through the process of setting it up. So once you have an account, you'll be able to edit any of the pages, add new project pages, and yeah. So it's very easy if that's something that would be helpful or is of interest.
Yeah, and this page, like Utah always has, it's a page that you don't have to ever like be concerned, because you can always, no matter what you do, there's no way to like make a mistake, because whatever, even if we erase everything, we can always go back, because it's always, everything's always saved multiple times. So the idea is that anybody can come in and test it out, try as much as you want to, and then if anything happens, and we can just go back. There's no problem with that too. So we encourage everybody to try and add projects and all of that. And also, you don't necessarily need to sign up to use the resources. I think you, even if you just click on the link, you can still go, for example, if you want to just check a resource, and if you're searching just for, I don't know, a tool that you're curious about, you can just go and click and look through it. You don't have to be a member to oh, okay, to participate. Okay, oh yeah, cool. So that's another thing, just, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Well,
So,
stop.
sorry, go ahead. Oh, we just stopped sharing. Yeah, so yeah, we encourage, like, try and look it up and check the resources and see what's useful or not. And if you can share with us, that's also great. So we can keep improving it. Oh, and we also have the YouTube channel. Let me show that very quickly, that we're trying to, hold on a second. My channel, and it's still new. We are, oh, I don't need to switch screens. I can share screen, share. You see this one?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we have our YouTube channel where we are uploading like our recordings. So we have right now we have only 2 playlists, which is there is this National Native Health Research, which they're uploading their monthly workshops, and we have our workshops that we are going to upload all of them here. We still have them, all of them uploaded in the wiki, but we also are uploading all of them here. And we have some other videos of projects we've been playing around with that everybody can check out. And the plan is to keep uploading all the projects as we develop. We're going to be putting more projects there. And please subscribe to it too, so we can get ideas. Yeah, so Does anybody have any questions? Okay, so we'd like to move on to talking. I don't know. Sorry, Josie. Are you done? I'm like.
Yeah. No, definitely done. Go for it.
Okay. We wanted to then talk a little bit about the projects, and if anybody have any ideas or thought about things that you want to develop with the students or faculty, or from what we talked the last time. I know we skipped last week, but yeah, go ahead. Deborah, are you trying to speak? Because we can't hear.
Oh my goodness, I am not on mute. I was talking to myself. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just thought it was light up, but we couldn't hear.
That's good. Okay, at least I wasn't mad about anything, huh? Or mad at anybody. Mumbling and grumbling. I'm sorry, I'm in a silly giddy mood today. Sorry about that.
No, please.
Let me mute. Well, I don't know. What are we asking questions? Are we to pause here before we move to the next section?
Well, if you have any questions about the wiki or any other thing, yes. And also we want to talk about the projects that you're interested in developing.
Okay, just can I ask a quick question here?
Of course.
And I'm just feeling people out with this because I'm going to be doing like a webinar next week, and it's on Underground Railroad and Native Americans. But the team has decided to use the typical, the stereotypical Black guy with the long, the stick and the kerchief and the whole bit running away. And the other image is of a village where the chief is living in a little a cabin on top of the hill, and then you have Native American women, and then the women are down by the riverfront and they're washing clothes in the river. And I was just trying to figure out if anybody had any ideas of any other images we could use, even though the one image of the Native American village is 1851. But if anybody had any idea of any other images to use besides having women washing clothes in the stream. Because for some reason, if they were beading or doing something, arts and crafty or something besides this, third world, the third world image of, all over the world. It could be Indian women, it could be Native American women, Native Americans, or Mexican, or African, or Asian Indian. It's like when they do historical things, people love to get like the women washing the clothes in the stream. And I was just wondering if anybody had any ideas of other images, or am I the only one kind of semi-bothered by that? Am I being overly sensitive?
No, I don't think so. And how are you going to do the presentation?
Well, the presentation is going to, I guess I can tell you now, and don't laugh if that's what's going to show up on the PR material, but it's with stay tuned. It's with the National Park Service, National Park Service Network to Freedom. And it's basically Native Americans and the Underground Railroad in the Midwest. So I'm doing a presentation on Wyandottes and Wetzels and Zane family in Seneca County, Ohio. And the other two people are doing presentations on the Shawnee, right? One of them is going to do a family that was embedded with the Shawnee. And then the other one's going to be following the Wyandottes and the Shawnee, the Kansas. So it's an interesting presentation, but I was just hoping to find some kind of not a modern image, but So this is a design question. When you're dealing with historical things like this, do you use the images from 1850, right? Or is there some way that you can abstract, like abstract representations from that point in time without promoting the same old images? Does that make sense? Am I making sense at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what's going to come out. It's going to be the Indian village in Michigan, and the poor fugitive slave running away. It's advertised on the runaway pictures. So I mean, because it has to come out today, so we don't have time to do a redesign. Mm-hmm. But when we start talking about redesigning, is it going to be possible to redesign or be more selective about images being pulled from past tense, like from historical images? That might be a conversation for another time.
No. But where are you where are you gathering the images from?
I'm not doing it. The tech person is doing it.
Okay.
And it's free. Okay, they're free images as well, so they don't have to pay for them.
Oh, okay.
There are search tool, there's ways to search for images that are openly licensed that might be helpful if you're trying to find alternatives. Using Google Images, you can filter so it only shows you images that are open, so you can use them without paying. So if you're looking for specific images to replace, that would be a easy a thing to try. I'm not saying you'll definitely find anything, but I can show you how to do that if you've not done that before.
Okay, we don't have to do it now, but
it's super easy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen really quick.
And I think this is something that's useful for everybody using.
So just, you can search any kind of search term, go over to Google Images, and then under Tools, you go under Usage Rights and click Creative Commons Licenses, and that will filter all of the results to only show images that are available for free to use.
There you go.
So that might be something if you're trying to find alternative images.
Okay. So wait a minute. So you just went to the usage license?
Yep. I'll just go back. So if you're under images, under tools, and then it'll, I can't remember what it said before. Tools, usage rights, and then Creative Commons licenses.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome. So these images, most of them will require attribution, so you'll have to give credit, but you won't have to pay for them.
Oh, well, thank you. That's the kind of training I like. Click and go training. Yes. Thank you. I will work on that. Well, when you see the advertisements for the webinar, don't laugh if you see you're going to see those images, but don't laugh.
No. And were you thinking also with any projects to develop with students and with us?
Well, you know what? One of them might be this whole business with Narbonne Pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Narbonne Pass is also really famous for its marathons. There are a lot of marathons and things like that. Mm-hmm. And the history of Narbonne Pass was basically, it was a group of Navajo Community College students that were like, are you telling me this pass is named after this man who was responsible for marching us off, right? Mm-hmm. For the long walk, mm-hmm. right? For taking us prisoners of war. That's who they named it after. And so these students actually got the name changed to the U.S. government geographic naming board or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that could be kind of fun, if they could, that might be a project. If they can find somebody who was here in 1992, and then they can also juxtapose, images from like the marathons, and they're like, dead volcanoes on the pass. That, that might actually be like a little mini documentary, how Narbonne Pass got its name.
Yeah. And
That's an idea, huh?
you do like to lead that one? I mean, like not lead, like
Not
talk to
right.
the students and, you know,
No, I can
bring
start
them
talking with
here.
I will start talking it up with the students, because the other thing is that there is talk of starting a journalism program here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like it could be like a document, you know, it could be documentary or something like that, or just a project, just a video project with the students. But I will start the talk up phase for now. I can start talking it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. How much I can't drop everything and plan it right this minute,
Of course.
because I've got a lot on my plate. So I don't know. And then over the spring, depending on if I ever get organized enough to, to free up some free time to be able to do that, that would make, and if I don't do it, maybe I can convince somebody else to take it over. I think that would make a nice video project,
Mm-hmm.
because the past is very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. It's very cool, and it's historical. I'm going to start working on it. Okay, so thank you. I hadn't thought about doing it, but okay, there it is now. Okay, it's your fault, Mona. This is your fault.
You put it out there.
I didn't mean to, but there it is. We're going to work on this. No, because they were so excited.
Yeah.
They were so excited about finding out, and none of them knew none of them stuck with the research far enough to make the connection between Navajo Community College and Dene College, because that was the original name of the college, of the school.
Uh-huh.
And so even if they found Navajo Community College, they still haven't connected it. Mm-hmm. And I think this is, and the whole point of this is to show how these students left a legacy behind them. Mm-hmm. Very honorable legacy. That's their legacy. They got the name of the past changed, mm-hmm. officially. So that would be a nice student. And what are you going to do? What's your legacy?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
No, that's why we're here, to discuss and collaborate with projects, and that's awesome.
Yeah, okay, I like that. All right.
And actually, kind of thinking about everything here, Matt, I have a question, because we talked a little bit about images, and Adobe also works with stock images, right?
Yes.
Is that something we should talk about? I don't just.
We have Adobe Stock, and I could see some things that that could be sources of collaboration there. I mean, you can go to look. It's at stock.adobe.com. So if you have if you have a Creative Cloud license, you can actually kind of browse the images like inside Photoshop. Like you want this one, and just license it from there. It's a little complicated because you basically are licensing that image. So you're browsing for things and you find something, and then you license it. And I don't think the Creative Cloud licenses give you any like licenses for the images themselves, but we could probably talk with them about throwing in some. So if you wanted to add something like for a presentation like that, I would take a look and see about the cultural appropriateness of the images that we have, because we have about 130 million images in the database, and they are of various qualities and provenance. They basically, like, stock companies just kind of swallow each other, and so we've bought companies that have bought companies that have bought companies. Mm-hmm. And some of them are from around the world. Some of the images themselves are older and are not particularly representative in a lot of different ways of like how a lot of different identities want to represent themselves, and that's another thing that could be a source of collaboration. We have been talking about an initiative basically to increase the diversity of the creators and the imagery that they're producing in that system. So yeah, that's the long answer for yes, we have stock images.
Cool. Yeah, and I just was wondering if that was also like a way of collaboration in any way. I don't know if in this case, but it's just something else that exists that I'm aware of, and it's so much. So every time that something comes up, I don't know. Yeah, it might be something else.
Yeah, it's something that we are, that we are actively working on, and they're, and sort of creating governance policies around that imagery, because it's basically, we're creating human, we're selling human communication, and we have to kind of understand the consequences of that.
And there is a question. Our IT director seems to be waiting on an Adobe Creative Cloud license deal. Has anyone from Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College accessed this opportunity offered here? I am not aware yet. That would be, I think, an Al question, but I will forward it to him because he's the one that is getting the requests. Yeah, so I would have to ask him if he got already any request from that. Can you explain a little bit better what is the licenses and what is the deal that he's, oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what, I asked, our IT guy's name is Peter Angelos, and he's swamped, of course, because this whole season is nuts for everybody, right? We're all just barely keeping our head above water. So I asked him if he was aware of this opportunity that's being, discussed. And admittedly, I wish I could have, come to all the meetings here, but yeah, I wear too many hats. Like, Deborah was talking about, like everybody who works in tribal colleges recognizes. So when I talked to Peter, he said, yeah, we were working on this, deal with Adobe, some license agreement, and it's coming. He's like, it's coming in the spring. Like, we'll get it going good. And I'm like, dude, I think it's already going through this AHEC. So I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of see, is that something that I can just tap into without having to go through him?
No, so Al is the administrator of an Adobe account with 60 full Creative Clouds for Teams licenses, and we've structured it so that basically you make a proposal or ask him for licenses. He can parcel them out. If you have a project that's 3 months long, for example, you can basically take the license for 3 months, and then then he can get it back and give it to some other project to work. But those accounts are there now. How but we're also talking about the volunteering on our side, which I could talk a little bit about right now, where we're going to match up people with Adobe employees that are going to volunteer in various capacities. So that's another piece of the puzzle there. So it's going to be more than just we threw a bunch of licenses at you and you can figure it out, but that we're actually going to collaborate with you on whatever projects you come up with.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm like, why am I having to wait for my IT director? Okay, all right, I'll talk to Al. And because we've been using Final Cut Pro, and then last year, we started to shift to Adobe, and so half of we don't have a big staff or anything, but the studio guy who does all the equipment and he does all the editing, and he's Final Cut Pro, he learned on that, you know. And then we have a new guy that came in that's teaching some media classes. He's all about Adobe. And so we've got this little turf thing going on, and me, I'm just trying to make sure that we can bring, the projects and move them forward. And if I had time, I would sit down and, like do that myself. Maybe I just need to get the Adobe training. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of know if I had to, if anybody had talked, if Peter Angelos had talked to Al, or I suppose I need to ask Al that. But okay, thanks.
Yeah. And also, like, here's the place, like if you do have a project that you're already thinking about, and that's the reason why you're looking into learning or using these licenses and all of that, here is a place you can come and talk about it and look for collaboration, or like Matt was saying, like there will be some collaborations from volunteers, and you can, if you have the project, you can throw the ideas in. And
yeah, we've got a bunch of projects, like ongoing stuff, and not enough time or people. And then so this may or may not be related, and I'm just going to put it out there because I went to the Ojibwe language meeting with Yurgita, and so I don't know if anything has come about of that, or if this is the wrong place to even talk about that. That.
Yes, no, you can talk about it.
I just think that there are people, in all corners, kind of like working on stuff and getting things moving in their own capacity. Like, well, I know how to do this, so this is what I'm going to do. Like, even right now, I'm working on a project that is an art installation in Duluth that includes projection and animation and music, and that's like, a whole nother thing. But I mean, it's, everyone's media awareness and capacity is just taken off, right? Because we're having to communicate this way, and we're having to rethink how we do education and social interaction and like all of the things, and these are the tools we have, right? And so, like, yeah, how do we Ojibwe is a big we have a big pool of people working on that right now, and we have been working on it for a long time. And how do we build that that resource that we talked about at that meeting? Have we made any progress? Am I supposed to be doing something?
Liz, in regards to those meetings, we just had another regional Northwest, and I have 2 more remaining. So I think what's gonna happen is that when I get done with all the 4, then we'll come back to our small regional groups, and we'll do some more planning, because the things that we discussed and prioritized, we need to elaborate more. But we have a good plan, but this is the basis for our action plan to move forward for the language initiative. So all these things, they're going to be happening. And we had the last meeting, the Northwest, was just this past week, and just like in your group, everybody showed up. Every college that was invited was represented, and we had 3 TCU presidents who are involved in language initiatives, and speakers even themselves show up at that meeting and contribute. So this is moving forward. So I'll be sending you guys updates on that stuff.
Thanks.
It's good to see you here too.
And so sorry, from our side, there are a few different, there's several different sort of language preservation kinds of projects that have a lot in common. And one of the things that we can help with is, basically if we could gather everybody that's doing a specific thing, like it's, you know, whether it's media based or research based or anything that we can do to contribute, like in a broader sense, so that everybody's kind of on the same page. We, you know, that's another thing that we could do. The volunteers that we have so far signed up, and I think I can probably get some more just with another little nudge. They, you know, they range from, like, I would love to do one project like a workshop or your spring break gathering kind of support. And we have a lot of people that have said, like, I can do a shorter term, kind of several hours a week over a few weeks with somebody, or, you know, up to a few hours a week over several months. So we, like, there's a lot of, you know, a lot of different levels of interest. And just to give you an idea of what we asked them if they were interested in, like, what things they would be interested in doing. The number one is web design. You know, shortly behind that is graphic design and animation, photography, curriculum development, print layout. There's some people that are in video production that, let's see, what else have we got here? Typography, research techniques, project management, and then there's got a bunch of other, like, suggestions of things that people could, you know, could throw into that, giving presentations, yeah, digital illustration, that, like, we've got a lot. Content management, augmented reality, storytelling. So there's a lot. But I think that just talking with Al about this earlier this week, I think what we're aiming to do is get a list of who can actually use this stuff, and then we can create a list of who the volunteers are, and maybe just have a matchmaking event where we just, I don't know, like a speed dating thing or something. We figure out who wants to do what with whom, and then we will just kind of release you all to sort it out. We, from our side, we want to make sure that that we're, you know, that our people are being put to use, and so, you know, we want to make sure that the projects are they're solid. There are things that are happening, and that will actually, our support will actually be useful to them. So that's kind of the, you know, and we're probably, maybe this, you know, well, the next meeting, I think basically everybody at Adobe is going to be on vacation, but you know, early December, I think we could start actually pairing people up. The one other thing that I wanted to say was, if you have an IT department that you can ask, do we have, for, you know, available licenses? Because if you know, lots of schools have blanket licenses for their students for, you know, part of or all of the Creative Cloud, and if you already have that, that's, you know, you don't need to get one of these licenses to work with us. We'll do it with whoever has what, and you can free up those licenses for schools that don't have them. But it would be good to know if you already, you know, like, I know a lot of college students that just don't realize that they have this thing for free because their school already negotiated it. But it would be helpful to know that too going in.
Does anybody else have a question or comment or a project that you're thinking of the last? I saw somebody had their camera on before. I thought, no. So. Yeah. Well, like we said, if you are interested, and I know like everybody's super overwhelmed, especially at the end of the semester, but if you do have some time to send the project or to add a little bit of ideas at the wiki, that would be great. And yeah, share or comment what you think about it and how things are going. That would be awesome for us to see how to keep going with that part, because we really want to make sure that becomes a space where we can collaborate and make it moving, like keep moving forward. So it would be awesome, so we can all make it useful for everybody. And thank you, Josie and Matt, for being here and helping out and talking to everybody.
Glad to be here.
Thanks. Yeah, if nobody has any questions, we have 5 more minutes. And remember, if you do want, for now, you can write me at that email, the mmc@ihack.org, and we can schedule some time if you have any questions or technical thing in a project you're working on, and I can help out with things that you might need, or direct you to someone that can help. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, do you want to talk? Do you have a specific project that?
No, I don't have a specific project, but I get lots of idea that how I can use the Adobe, because sometimes as a instructor or anyone with the Adobe, they just things like we can use this one only just Photoshop. It's not like that. Like there is another opportunity that we can use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get lots of idea. Thanks for sharing those stuff, and thanks for arranging this kind of workshop. It's really helpful.
Okay, yeah, and please feel free to send like your proposal or ideas that we can develop, or yeah, like give you the support and
Sure.
need. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cool. Oops. Bye, everybody. I see you next week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.